Hi. So let's do all the general readings. Let's do it. Oh, Scorpio, it's your turn. This table is great for not skipping the dice. So whatever sticks, sticks. Scorpio. Huh? I should probably not be a weirdo with it. Scorpio, it's your turn. This is your general read for December. Please check out the description box below for everything you need to know, including all of the things about the only place you can donate to the channel and the only place you can reach out to me for a personal reading. I will never reach out to you asking for those things. That's what scammers do. Check out your rising, moon, and Venus sign for additional messages. And we could talk about the hair. We can do all that stuff. But if you want to know about that, check out the Sagittarius reading, because I'm done talking about it. So anyway, yeah, let's get started for you. We are going to start with something from the Deftones Major Arcana Tarot for you, limited edition Major Arcana deck. That you can, I don't know if you can even order it anymore. I have deck 17. I don't know how many decks they came out with for it. If you like the Deftones, then you might already know about it, and maybe you won't. Then we're going to do your 444 spread, which I've cut down from 6. We'll read dignities through, and then we'll get you some magnetic poetry, which is totally your thing. You might be wondering, I am moving things around my house. So I'm reading to you from my spare bedroom on the sushi table. Do happen to like the sushi, and I'm moving my dining room table into this room. Sold my couch because there's another human living here now. That's what we got. Twist for fairness for you. Sagittarius, sorry. You might be dealing with the Sagittarius. If you don't already know, I'm clairaudient, clairsentient, and claircognizant. Want to hear ringing on the right. Those are messages from people I know that have passed on, and messages from my spirit guides come in on the left. Songs I heard for you were I Still Do by the Cranberries. I think I also had, what did I also have here? Give me a sec. Sorry, I have to read them off the thing. Sugar for the Pill by Slow Dive, and Heart in a Cage by The Strokes. I think it's by The Strokes. It could be by The Voids. They're kind of interchangeable with the exception of a few band members. Anyway, let's get started for you. What do we got for you as your major theme from this specific deck for a major arcana? What do we got? I only take flippers and jumpers. That's not what everybody does. I love that that just happened just as we did this. As for the hair, you have to check out Sagittarius' reading to know about that. But, you know. The Devil in the upright for you. Yeah, so some fear, some obsession, the call to profound respect for all things that are built upon the earthly plane. Don't fear it, guys. You guys have the Death card and the Tower as your major arcanas for yourselves, so I don't expect you to shy away from this card. A lot of tarot community will say, "Ooh, the devil, boogity boogity." No, I'm a Capricorn sun, and so we like to look at things like this a little differently. The Devil is about having a profound respect for all things that are built upon the earth. Good food, good wine, good sex. And I know y'all Scorpios do have a good, profound respect for that. This is about either obsession or fear of those things. It could also be just a call to moderation of the things that are built upon the earth that we need to have a profound respect for, such as good food, good wine, good sex, greed, money, monetary, our worth upon the earthly plane. I think here, if we look at this card in particular, somebody presiding over two individuals going, "Hey, buddy, what kind of deal can I broker in between the two of you?" Seems to me that there is something here that has to do with having a profound respect for the earthly pleasures themselves when it comes in between two individuals. It could be that, could be something else, but that is the call to action here as far as December goes for you. And just bear with me, you know, I'm chilling out and I'm being comfortable tonight. I'm in my pajamas and I'm sitting on the floor and I'm going to be comfortable and you're going to get your reading, and that's just the way we're going to do it. The devil. What is it that you are living in excess with, and what do you need to learn and gain a profound respect for? Other than that, it could be that it's not necessarily that you don't have a profound respect for this, but what is it that the people around you don't necessarily respect when it comes to that energy? You know, it's Capricorn energy. So given that we are just moving into Sagittarius season, there could be something that's going to happen during Capricorn season that's profound for you in terms of the earthly plane and building in the material world. Could be. Greed, lust. Think of the 7 deadly sins, if you will. I don't know. I don't make this shit up. It's up to you to fill in the blanks, yeah? We're going to use the Botticelli tarot for you. We're going to do, like I said, a 4-4-4 spread. And then we'll finish it off with some magnetic poetry, yes? I'm going to try and get these readings done on time. I did scrap my 2-minute Tuesday reading. The reason being is because I do work a job in finance. Being the Capricorn that I am, of course, I'm working in finance now. I was working previously in leadership. Also being a Capricorn that I am. Now I'm working in finance. And, I just don't have the time to do, ruled by time. I do have to parse out my time in a manner that's respectful to you as well as to myself. And so I can't necessarily, if I'm not going to do it regularly, I might as well just not do it, right? So, and also I don't like doing 2 minutes of tarot. It's kind of gross. If you think about it, it's not who I am. I do have, sorry, I have to cough. 1 sec. Thanks. I do have a personality, and I do read tarot intuitively as well as with the clairaudient piece to it. So it's not something that you just do, in 2 minutes, right? And upon the inspiration of another reader that I have profound respect for, who coincidentally happens to be a Scorpio, I just kind of felt like, that was like a good sign for me to kind of stop doing that to my subscribers, as few as I have, and also to myself. I just want to be real, and I think we can all kind of relate to that in some way, shape, or form. Twist for fairness for you, as we do with homage to our Libra folks, because if you've been around on this channel for a while, I do have an affinity for my Libra individuals. What do we have for you, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, for the past, moving into December? Tell me. I'm hoping to get some other readings going this month. We'll see. I don't want to commit to anything because I don't want to disappoint, right? What do we have for you, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in the past? Past energy. We have a flipper. What do we got? The Strength card in the reverse. Somebody lost their temper. Leo energy. Somebody lost their temper, or there was somebody who backed away out of fear. Interesting that we had the Capricorn card there, because Capricorn, sorry, not Capricorn, the devil could be dealing with Capricorn. There's something of a fear element here, because that would be cowardice. Somebody exercised cowardice, or experienced cowardice, or experienced fear in reaction to something. I will read dignities. It's okay. Don't panic. Let's see. I don't know why I'm getting choked out all of a sudden. Interesting. Interesting. Getting choked out. Let's see. What else do we have here? Yeah, it's Saturday night. I just saw the Lovers. In the past. We just had one. 10 of Wands. Okay. Anger or fear over responsibilities, burdens that were mounting, something that was piling up, that was a huge responsibility. There was either a break in the dam or some pressure that was building over mounting responsibilities. Too many things that somebody was carrying on their back. Remember the Wands. This card doesn't necessarily do the 10 of Wands justice like the Rider-Waite does, but if we look at it here, 10 of Wands, that's a whole shitload of oh, yes, I'm past 10 minutes. Shitload of responsibilities, excuse me, mounting for somebody, and either somebody just totally like lost their temper in the recent past, or they cowered in the presence of all of those burdens. Do you know? It's kind of like somebody was just like, whoa, this is too much. I can't handle all of this. It's too much stress. It's too much responsibility for me. I'm going to slink away. Alternatively, it's somebody who lost their temper, and like there was a heat of a moment where somebody's like, this is too much for me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Blah, 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 and totally lost their shiz. Yeah. What else do we... These are you too. What do we got? 10 of Swords. Ooh, yeah. Grief, loss, abandonment, disappointment, sickness. You could have had stress over this that led to sickness, that led to abandonment, loss of some sort, the need to heal. It could be, actually, it's interesting that I get these two together, because that actually tells me exhaustion. Somebody had a nervous breakdown in the recent past over all of the burdens that they were carrying. They had a little bit of a temper tantrum, or what is it? Am I hearing here? It's like an emotional outburst over all of the responsibilities and burdens that they were carrying, and therefore they had the nervous breakdown. Nervous breakdown happened in the recent past for you, Scorpio, over all the shit that you had to handle. And so you tried to focus on building firm foundations for yourself so that you could handle the burdens. It's like, okay, I'm super stressed out. I'm so stressed out that I freaked out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go foundations first. That's what this says to me. Foundations first. Okay. Since everything is so stressful that I've just flipped out on everybody around me, I'm going to go back to foundations first. Yeah? That's what it says to me immediately. It screams to me. It screams to me. Foundations first. Okay, let's focus on fundamentals here. It's like an inner dialogue that I'm hearing somebody do at the same time. It's like, okay, Scorpio. Foundations first. Okay, everything is totally too much for me. This is too much. This is too much. This is too much. And you know, I'm losing my shit. I need to heal this. I need to deal with the fact that everything around me seems to be just loss after loss after loss because I have too many burdens, too many responsibilities. So let's go back to foundations first. That's what it says to me. Build firm foundations, and then we can move forward from there. You know, in popular tarot, this would mean marriage and blah, 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 and the 4+ the marriage bed and all that sort of stuff. And you know, sometimes it does. It does. Sometimes that does mean that. But it also means the 4 walls of the home. What do we build our home on? Firm foundations. Foundations first. So you're going back to fundamentals. In the future, sorry, not the future. In the present for you, Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And we have one. We have the Eight of Swords in the reverse, coming out of a mental prison of sorts. You see, this person is taking themselves down off this post because they then realized that they were standing there the entire time without their feet bound. So they decided that they was like, oh, wait a second here. I can free myself. It's like exercising that self-empowerment, being like, wait, I know how to get myself out of this feeling of grief, this feeling of loss, out of this feeling of victim, like that victimhood mindset. Somebody's taking themselves out of a victimhood mindset. They're being empowered in some way. They're realizing, it's the realization of where they have lived in victimhood mindset, and where they have empowerment to take themselves out of the equation of my problems are, it's like realizing, it's the realization of where my problems are a direct result of actions that I have taken or not taken. And here it's from inaction. My problems are because I refused to act, thinking that I was in a certain place and could not do anything else, when in reality the truth was that I could have taken action in a different direction. Yeah, it's a mental prison. I mean, there's no other way to describe the Eight of Swords. But coming out of that mental prison is recognizing where you are to blame for your own circumstances, where you have to take account. It's accountability. This is accountability. Taking ownership over your own circumstances, and where you absolutely can change those circumstances for yourself. Yes. Yeah. Especially considering if when you did lose your temper, how now you are dealing with the consequences of that. Taking accountability for the consequences of losing your temper because of burdens, because of responsibilities, mounting responsibilities. What is your part that you've played in that? How can you own up to that? How can you own up to the reaction of that? And how can you move forward knowing that? Your ownership and accountability is huge here. It's figuring strongly in the present line. What else do we have for you? Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Just saw the Lovers again. What is this? What is that? I'm not gonna poke the bear. What do we got? The Fool in the reverse. So, while you're taking accountability and ownership over that reaction, either the fight or the flight reaction that's there, with that Strength card in the reverse, we have the Fool in the reverse. You're deciding that you're not going to take an adventurous, risk-taking approach when it comes to some of your responsibilities, for fear of losing additional things moving forward. It's almost as if you know that if you strike out and you do things from a perspective of foolhardiness or adventurism or the wait and see type of scenario, that you will end up in additional pain. It's like once bitten, twice. Great white. Yeah, there we go. Once bitten, twice shy, baby. Yeah, I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it over here. Thank you. Once bitten, twice shy by great white. You might be dealing with a Libra or a Capricorn. Once bitten, twice shy, baby. Yeah, you're not doing things the way you used to do them, because you know, it's like bang your head against the wall, see if it still hurts. Yeah, bang your head against the wall, see if it still hurts. Yeah. So, what you're going to do is you're going to approach things from a careful and calculated space, as opposed to just jumping out into the unknown. Because you've been bitten before. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think it's. I fucking told you. I told you. What did I say was going to come out? The Lovers. Just in the present, you're dealing with a situation with a connection of some sort. We don't necessarily want to jump to the conclusion that it is a romantic situation yet. Could be, because namesake on the card says the Lovers, Gemini energy. Could just be a profound spiritual connection that you have with somebody that you know has to do with a choice, choosing to be a part of, a participant in the connection, or choosing to sit back. You're protecting your heart space. You've had pain that has to do with a connection that you're experiencing a new iteration of in the present, and you're trying not to take risks. You could encounter somebody that is a connection that you think you like have this weird intuitive feeling about that is bigger. When it comes to space, it's all Gemini energy. I don't know if I said that yet. But it feels like here that you could be connecting with someone on a romantic level. While you're trying to build firm foundations, it seems rather distracting to you because you're trying to avoid pain. You might associate this lover's connection, whether it's a friend, family member, or an actual romantic interest. You could be trying to avoid, they could remind you of pains of the past. Even though they're not, they're new and they're not as same, they're not the same. They're not the person from the past you created the initial pain. But you're experiencing a reiteration of the pain, burden, and the promise of a new start with firm foundations. You're not willing to take the risk. And you have a choice to make when it comes to this. Being that Scorpio doesn't shy away from making the tough choice to protect their heart space, I don't think you're going to make a foolhardy choice. But I think that it's more because of past experiences where you have taken on all of the responsibility, all of the burden, and suffered a great deal of pain, loss, and abandonment through a lover's connection. After the promise of this, after the promise of love, or after the promise of a firm foundation, after somebody promised that they would start something off with you on stable footing and it ended up not being so stable, or after the promise of marriage. Somebody promised you marriage and it ended up being pain and somebody abandoned you. You ended up being left holding the bag. So you're not willing to take risks in the future. And you're trying not to be up in your head about it. You're trying not to blame shift. You're trying to be really, really, I'm hearing the word succinct over here. You're trying to be succinct in your dealings with this person also, as to not leave things up for interpretation. Okay, what else do we have for you? Scorpio. I almost said Sagittarius again. You could be dealing with a Sagittarius, or you could have Sagittarius in your chart. What else do we have for you? Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. You're dealing with this connection, though, during the present. And it's important. And that's why you're not taking risks. That's why you're trying to be prudent. Remember, we only are reckless with our energy when we feel that something is not worth our energy. Remember that. Even if it's only intuitively acting recklessly, and I don't want people to misconstrue what I'm saying. The Fool in the upright is not recklessness always, but it certainly isn't the careful forethought that we want to regard the Lovers with, is it? It's not as romantic as we might think it is. Yeah. So I want to be stable and grounded in that. And if anybody can tell you that's a damn Capricorn, yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, we got 2. You get 2 in your present line in here. We have the Ace of Wands in the reverse. There's a lack of passion or inspiration towards something, and it's because somebody's a little bit more dominant than you might like. There's leadership energy here. One person, it's a power struggle. One person wants to take the lead. The other person doesn't want the other person to take the lead. It's like one person is extremely Aries energy, by the way. Somebody is extremely dominant in the connection. And whoever is dominant in the connection is going to prevail. But the other person is experiencing a moment in the present. And I'm just going to, because we're dealing with a month, the other person during this month is feeling a lack of inspiration, a lack of passion, a lack of beginning of creative endeavor. It could be separate from the connection, or it could be a portion of the connection, but regardless of which it is, it feels like it's putting a damper on things as far as creativity, inspiration, or a new passionate beginning goes. Somebody can't kickstart my heart. Who's that by? That Motley Crue. Why am I getting all the 80s shit for you today? I don't know. Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue. Somebody doesn't feel they're getting the Kickstart My Heart vibe going here because somebody else is either more dominant than their person. They lead with a firm, steady hand. They're extremely confident. Aries energy. They're a leader in their own right. Yet this also can come off as condescending, domineering, fear-based leadership, somebody who just abuses their power. Normally I would see that if it was in the reverse, though. It's a knock to the confidence of the other participant in the connection, though, because they're not used to meeting somebody who has the match of confident energy. They're not used to being with somebody who is as much of a leader as them. And so it kind of puts them in a space of feeling, for lack of a better term, it's interesting. I'm hearing this over here, monetarily impotent, or career impotency, or just feeling not as inspired, not creatively inspired, or professionally inspired. There's something about this that kind of makes them feel lesser. This makes them feel lesser. Is that a problem with you, or is that a problem with them? I don't know. I would like to invite us all to examine when people make us feel a certain way. That's an invitation for you to look within. It's not an invitation for you to point the finger at somebody else, remember? If somebody makes me feel a certain way, well, I have to peel away those layers of the onion and go, why does that person make me feel that way? Because this, and this. Well, why? Well, why? Until I get to the real root cause of the problem, because the fact of the matter is that nobody makes you feel a certain way. You choose to feel a certain way in reaction to what somebody does for whatever personal reason, right? So if somebody else is extremely powerful, confident, authoritative, and it makes you feel a lack of creativity, a lack of ability to start something new, a lack of creative drive, lack of inspiration, is that their problem? Or is it your direct response to something? And what are the triggers there? And is it something that you need to navigate better? Because you need to navigate it better. You do. You're going to meet a million people in your life who are going to be smarter, more successful, more creative, a lot of other things than you. Point is, why are you comparing yourself to them instead of building yourself up to be just as great? And what are the things that you're great at? And why are you focusing on what somebody else is great at? Because you're never going to be a carbon copy of them, so you can't possibly compare. Yeah? You are the only you. And because you're the only you, nobody can compare with you. Nothing compares. Sinead. Yeah. Nothing does compare to you. So why are you trying to compare yourself to somebody else and being upset and having like this allergic reaction to somebody else being just as great or just as powerful or just as dominant or just as commanding with their words? Or, you know, why? What's the point? Bang your head against the wall, see if it still hurts. Didn't I say that already? Up in here? Bang your head against the wall, see if it still hurts. I did. What do we have for you in the future? I don't want to go on ad nauseum about this shit. I'm not going to soapbox forever. Let's see. What do we have in the future? It's okay for everybody to have their own power. And it's okay for everybody to have their own confidence. If somebody else's confidence threatens you, it's up to you to see why. Because that's your own reaction in direct relation with something that you need to work on, not something that somebody else is doing to you. You're just, you know, this is a saying that people hate so much, but you're just not that important. And you know, I love Scorpio to death. I really do. It's just in our day-to-day lives, and nobody is walking around going, oh, how can I fuck over whoever I'm dealing with here and make them feel inferior? And with the exception of like sociopaths and psychopaths, and they don't even think about other people. They just think about themselves, right? So, you know, give that some food for thought. You know, chew on that for a minute. See if it, you know, cleanses your palate, right? Because the fact of the matter is that we're all here to improve ourselves, not to focus on somebody else who is making us feel a certain way, right? Yeah, nix that shit, right? It's about accountability and ownership over our own feelings. We see that at the beginning of the present for you. Anyway, I'm moving out of the esoteric and into the therapeutic, and I'm not doing that because I am far better at the esoteric than the therapeutic. I mean, I have a little bit of an education in that. I don't want to do it, though, because there are way better people at articulating that than me. Okay, anyway, let's go. The future. The future, Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Scorpio. What do we have in the future for you? Oh. Surprise, surprise. I normally only take 3. This is your whole spread plus 1. For the future. The Moon in the upright. The 3 cups in the reverse. The 2 of Pentacles in the reverse. The Magician in the upright. And the 6 of Wands in the upright. Interesting. So the Moon. You have something of confusion, the dream state, fear, deception that's happening. And so you're feigning. You're feigning in the future the feeling that, oh yeah, no, I was never really caught up in my head about anything to do with stuff. You're feigning. There's like an illusory energy here in the future about things that you were trying to be. You're like pretending to be adventurous when you're really not. You're pretending that you're pretending to take risks when you really don't want to, or you're going along with the program pretending that you're cool at taking risks when you're really not. There's also deception and illusion here about who you really are in terms of your overthinking. You're hiding the overthinking aspect of things, and that's natural. People who overthink are consistently trying to make people think that they don't, which is a merry-go-round of crazy in and of itself. It really is. Hey, as somebody with anxiety, I definitely know about that. This is Cancerian energy also. Some people view it as Piscean energy. I always say, because the Moon is ruled by Cancer, that this is Cancerian energy. Could be also something that comes to you in a dream about how to set yourself free from a mental prison of sorts, or you could be doing lucid dreaming right now that helps to set you free from some psychological baggage that you have that's keeping you from experiencing a more free-flowing creative energy, risk-taking that allows you to be successful in your creative endeavors, you know? But then we have also the Three of Cups in the reverse. This is gossip, a hen party. You know, in the upright, we would have people celebrating something, cause for celebration. But in the reverse, this is people gossiping. Deception. You're deceiving yourself, right? You already come into here in the future deceiving yourself about something. There might be somebody that you thought you could trust with your secrets, or thought that you could trust with your energy. You're fooling yourself. It's not like I'm hearing. You're fooling yourself if you can trust those people not to talk behind your back. But you're not, in the present, you're not giving them anything to talk about anyway. If we really look at this, right? You're freeing yourself from a mental prison. You're not imbibing in risk-taking behavior. I think these are just a bunch of people who want to chew the fat over things because their lives aren't so great anyway. They're probably people who don't take risks either, but not in a good way. They're probably people who've never taken a damn risk in their lives. And it's easy to sit back. I love this. You ever read Daring Greatly by Brené Brown? Or Dare to Lead by Brené Brown? You know, the reason that she wrote this series is she studies shame and vulnerability. But Brené Brown, and it's massive in pop psychology. But if you look at the quote that she uses by Theodore Roosevelt, and it talks about the person who was in the arena versus the person in the cheap seats. And the person in the cheap seats is somebody who natters on about everything that the idiot in the arena is doing. But the idiot in the arena is the one who's in the arena. He's taking all of the risks. He's the one who's getting his face marred by dust and sweat and blood and all the gore. And he's the one who, even though he errs, at least he did so while daring greatly. And so even if he fails, he either knows great defeat or great success. Yeah? Whereas the person in the cheap seats is sitting there up in the fucking peanut gallery, chomping on popcorn like a moron, and making all of these awesome judgments about other people, but they haven't ever taken a risk in their lives. So they know zero value when it comes to taking risk. They know zero value when it comes to what it means to take action, to be adventurous, to free yourself from a mental prison, to break out and make a choice in love, to do something of worth on the earthly plane. They know nothing of that. They just know how to pass judgment and yap at their friends about it. And everybody sits there and has their own little gossip hen party about it all. Talking about, oh, did you hear what Scorpio did? Da, 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 da. But none of them are doing any of this stuff. They're just sitting around talking about what other people do that makes them look like idiots. Right? But they never lived a day in their damn life. They never made any risk. They never took any risks themselves. And there's somebody that you're deceiving yourself about that is party to this and then goes off and hangs out with their buddies and laughs about it like it's fucking funny. It ain't funny. If anybody, the clown is them. With their big dumb red shoes, sitting there chuckling, chortling over the things that you're doing that they aren't. And that's why they're talking about it so much, because they wish they had the balls to do that shit. It's fine. 86 them if you figure out who they are. Then we have the Two of Pentacles. Looks like you're 86ing something. If not them, it's going to be an ambiguity in your energy. Yeah, maybe I'm looking in the wrong direction. Maybe while I'm looking for any direction, you're picking a direction to focus your energy towards moving forth in the future from December. There's something you've been playing with two different energies on. And you haven't been able to necessarily commit to one. Because we're right under the Lovers, I do have to say you've went with a safe choice when it comes to your love life. And in the future, you might choose to go with the safe choice in your love life. And actually, a part of this little gossip chatter is going to be how you chose to go with the safe option when it came to your love life, or somebody else did. Well, they went with the safe option. They didn't really take a risk. They just went with what they knew would never fuck them over. I think unless they're they're not a participant in that relationship, they should probably shut up. But it's okay. That's just the devil in me talking. It's fine. It's just, I really dislike that. I really dislike that there. It seems that that's what it's about. But you're choosing something of some nature when it comes to love. It seems an uninspired choice to the outsiders. It seems that it's not necessarily the creative choice. And it seems that it isn't some matchstick of the divine. But it seems safe. But didn't we always hear and read about how people who deal with shitty situations and shitty relationships tend to have a withdrawal of certain, chemicals in their brains when it comes to that stuff? When they're in a good relationship, something that's actually healthy for them, it's like your brain's like, wait a second, you mean, wait, there's no drama, there's no stress, there's no arguments? Well, fuck that, it's boring. Oh my god, I don't want to be in that. Could actually be that you're finally, for once in a long time, if not for your entire lifetime, because I said I was hearing once in a lifetime, you're actually finally experiencing something that doesn't light a fire up under your ass, isn't too sensational, and might even feel boring to you, but you're choosing it, and it's the safe choice, but it's the right choice perhaps, because it doesn't leave you freaking the hell out and neurotic about all of your choices and decisions, or experiencing those vast expanses of highs and lows that toxic relationships provide you with. You're choosing something when it comes to that, and I really hope you're making a choice that's best for you. Not a choice that any tarot reader tells you. A choice that is best and healthy and serves your highest good. Right? We do have the Magician here, so it does seem that you are mastering the self as well as being able to, as a result, master the elements. This is Gemini, Virgo energy. So it could be coming up on Gemini season where you're experiencing this, but and especially be a double Gemini here. I want to say that what you're dealing with right here is the inspiration is lacking, but in the future you're going to focus on the self more. You're going to focus on how you can bring more power and bring more oomph to your own self so that you can harness the elements in a creative and healthy manner. There's a difference in between washing somebody in a bath or a shower and drenching them with a cold ass garden hose when they don't expect it in the summer and thinking it's funny, and you caught them off guard and it's super uncomfortable, right? Yeah. Then following that, it did end up being a 4-5-5 spread. Sorry, I just took what I take with jumpers and flippers, but you have the Six of Wands. There's victory, homecoming here. This is usually somebody riding in triumphant after a battle with the victory banner held high, and all of the village people, absolutely, the townspeople, sorry, not the actual YMCA, village people, vigilant. Somebody is vigilant over this. They're vigilant, waiting for your victory homecoming. You could be dealing with somebody named Victoria, or you could be in Victoria, the city, wherever you live in the world when it comes to this. I live close to a city called Victoria, so that's why. But I live in another major city in the area. Anyway, this is about a homecoming that helps somebody feel rather victorious in their dealings. Because they took control, or you took control. You took control of a situation. You owned up. You exercised accountability and ownership over your own feelings in the situation. And though it didn't result in some creative spark at the moment, in the future what's going to happen is you're going to see this victory, this winning out, the prevalence of you over the naysayers and detractors when it comes to all of this. And that's pretty damn good, I would say. Let's get you some magnetic poetry, Scorpio. It's pretty late and I'm starting to feel super tired, which is not good for doing readings. I'll start speaking a bunch of random stuff that's actually sleep talking, but you'll think it's something to do with your read. Ooh, we have a bunch for you. You're going to make some stuff out of this, not me. I'm just going to flip them over so you can see. And you can jot them down, do whatever you want with them. They want me to put these back, but I'm not. I'm just going to put them down in the corner. So I have, I think I have two. Somebody is dealing with Eastern Standard Time, because EST came up here. It's not an Eastern Standard Time. They're Easter. Somebody's dealing with Easter. But it's not an Eastern Standard Time specific magnet. It's a suffix to a word. Okay. But you could be dealing with somebody who's in Eastern Time if you're not in Eastern Time. Wild horses couldn't tear me away. All right. Those are your words. Write them down. Do what you have to. Pause the video. So those are your words. That's what I've got for you. We done for the month of December, Scorpio. Thank you so much for watching. Again, hit that button if you share the love, show the love, right? If you think this resonated or it seemed like it fit with your story or any of your other placements did, like the rising moon and Venus sign, if those lines resonated, hit that button right there. And we'll see you either in the middle of the month here for something cool, or we'll see you in January when I will be in Capricorn season and I'll be almost 40 years old. Literally 1 year off. Anyway, have a great one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, Scorpio. Yeah, there's your board. Okay, cool. All right, we'll see you when I see you next. Bye.